Before taking Governor Schwarzenegger's word that his Prop 74 is good for schools, look at his record. Schwarzenegger borrowed $2 billion from our schools and broke his promise to pay it back. He wants to reduce school funding by another $4 billion and give himself the power to make more cuts without consulting anyone else. Now his Prop 74 allows a principal to fire a teacher without giving a reason or even a hearing. Prop 74, another bad Schwarzenegger idea that hurts our schools.
I'm married. I have a 14-month-old boy right now. And if something happens to me, I want to make sure my wife's going to be taken care of.
When the governor tried to cut survivors' benefits for families of fallen firefighters and police, California's bravest fought back. Now through Prop 75, Arnold and his allies would hit firefighters and other public workers with new political restrictions to make it harder for them to be heard.
I think Prop 75 is an attack on firefighters. He's trying to weaken the voice of the men and women that protect the peoples of California.
I knew I wanted to be a teacher when I was 5 years old. There's just something about teaching. It's imparting something to the kids. It's helping other people.
When the governor diverted billions from schools threatening our kids, teachers like Lisa Dickinson mobilized to stop him. Now Prop 75 slaps teachers and public workers with new restrictions, so the next time they can't fight back.
If Prop 75 passes, who's going to be there to speak for teachers and who's going to be there to speak for students?
I've been in nursing for 14 years. I have seen the changes in the healthcare industry. Even though you want to provide your patient with the best possible care, you're limited, your resources are very limited.
When the governor tried to cut the staffing legally required in California hospitals, nurses stood up for quality care and stopped him. But if Prop 75 passes with its new restrictions on nurses and other public workers, who will fight for patients the next time?
The real reason for Prop 75 is to silence the nurses.
Prop 76 strikes at the heart of California schools, cuts funding by $4 billion, ends voter-approved minimum school funding guarantees, gives the governor unlimited power to cut even more. It's another bad idea. No on 76.
When the governor diverted billions from our schools, teachers rose up to stop him. When he cut staffing required in hospitals, nurses took him on. When he tried to slash survivor benefits for families of slain police and firefighters, they said no. Now, from the folks behind Arnold comes Prop 75, slapping public workers with new restrictions, making it harder for them to speak out. The hidden agenda behind 75? It's not about protecting workers, it's about shutting them up. What's the hidden agenda behind Prop 75? Here are some clues. When Arnold's cuts threatened our schools, health, and safety, teachers and public workers led the battle to stop him. Now 75 slaps political restrictions on these workers, but not Arnold's corporate donors. And its author admits he was urged on by Arnold's campaign, targeting teachers and public workers so they can't fight back. That's the hidden agenda. Vote no on 75.
Look inside. Prop 76 makes major changes to California's Constitution, gives the governor unlimited new power to cut programs of his choosing, and ends minimum school funding requirements. He'll be free to cut schools, public safety, even health care with no legislative oversight.
Prop 76 doesn't fix the budget or stop new taxes. It destroys our system of checks and balances. This isn't reform.
It's another bad idea. Prop 76. Vote no. He promised to fight the special interests.
But he's raising more special interest money than any governor in history.
Over $40 million from developers and big business.
He's not the governor we thought he'd be.
He vetoed legislation to raise the minimum wage, cut prescription drug costs, protect car buyers. He wants to privatize pensions, even cut worker lunch hours.
And after promising to fix our schools, he shortchanged students by $2 billion this year.
He's not fighting special interests.
He's fighting us.
Our schools lost $2 billion when the governor broke his promise to repay the money he took from education. Now he wants to increase his power over schools with a plan that cuts another $4 billion. So who does he blame for the mess he's made? Me.
Papers report the governor has a secret plan to create a phenomenon of anger against teachers and other public workers, blaming them for what's wrong with California.
Instead of working with legislators to fix our schools, the governor's looking for people to blame. People like me.
Governor, you've already broken your promises on education. Now you're sponsoring Proposition 74, a ballot measure that allows one principal to fire a teacher without giving a reason or even a hearing, while doing nothing to improve teacher training.
Parents like me are voting no on Prop 74 to send the governor a message. Stop playing politics with our schools and get to work on smaller class sizes, up-to-date textbooks, and restoring music and art classes, the things our kids really need.
Like many parents, I was disappointed when Governor Schwarzenegger broke his promise to fully fund education. Now, he's called an expensive special election, costing taxpayers millions of dollars that would be much better spent on our schools. The governor's misguided initiatives will hurt children, teachers, and working people. I'm Steve Westley, and I'm standing up to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I hope you will too. Vote no on the governor's initiatives. Como muchos padres, me sentí decepcionado cuando el gobernador Schwarzenegger faltó a su promesa de financiar completamente la educación. Ahora, él convocó una elección especial que costará millones de dólares. Sus iniciativas perjudicarán a nuestros niños, nuestros maestros y a la gente trabajadora. Soy Steve Westley. Digamos no a Arnold Schwarzenegger. Vote no en las iniciativas del gobernador.
What happens with Prop 76? Minimum school funding guarantees are wiped out. Child immunization programs are threatened. And the governor gets new power to cut even more.
Papers warn Prop 76 creates more deadlock, makes politicians even less accountable, and gives the governor too much power.
Prop 76 cuts $4 billion a year from school budgets. That means bigger classes and fewer books. The governor gets more power, but our kids pay the price.
No on 76. California's Constitution carefully balances power between the governor and the legislature. Prop 76 destroys this balance by giving the governor unlimited power to cut funding for schools, public safety, even health care, with no legislative oversight.
Prop 76 hurts our kids by giving the governor new power to take even more money away from our schools without asking anyone. This isn't reform.
It's another bad idea. Prop 76. Vote no.
Stop. Don't be fooled by Prop 75. To read it, you'd think it was written to help public workers, which is just what the governor wants you to believe. But the law already protects public workers, so they don't have to contribute to politics they oppose. So what's 75 really about? The Sacramento Bee calls it a simple power play, restricting the voice of public workers, but not Arnold's corporate donors. Put the brakes on Arnold's sneaky power play. Vote no on 75.
¿Recuerdan cuando Pete Wilson nos echó la culpa de los problemas de California? ¿Cómo atacó a los inmigrantes y les hizo daño a nuestras escuelas? Ahora Arnold Schwarzenegger está haciendo lo mismo. Él alaba a los vigilantes que patrullan la frontera mexicana y quiere quitarle más dinero a nuestras escuelas. Ahora está trabajando con Pete Wilson para hacernos daño otra vez. No los dejen ganar. Voten no a las 74, 75, 76 y 77.
La elección especial del gobernador ataca a nuestros niños y escuelas. La proposición 74 castiga a los maestros. La 75 calla nuestras voces y les da más poder a los ricos que apoyan al gobernador. La 76 les quita miles de millones de dólares a nuestras escuelas. Si el plan del gobernador gana, nuestros hijos pierden.
No se permite traicionar el futuro de nuestros hijos. Voten no en las 74, 75, 76 y 77. Tenemos que votar no.